Hey everybody, it's Dana with CoachDanaInspires.com, and we are so happy you're here with Business Inspiration. Today we have a fabulous, and when I say fabulous, I mean fabulous guest today, and that is Ray Engan, and he is Leadership Through Laughter. Okay, what does that mean? We're going to find out. Hello, Ray. How are you doing today?
I'm having a great day. It's kind of fantastic to be live from Petaluma, California, with
Woo.
you in Wyoming for people of the world.
Absolutely.
It's
Absolutely.
a great day to have a great day, I think, Dana. Let's do.
I Let's do that. Let's make a meme. I think I need a meme. It's a great day to have a great day.
Yeah,
Okay.
just a smiling, floating head,
Yeah,
Uncle Buster right in the middle of everybody. There we go.
Oh no. Oh no. Well, listen, Ray, we're going to be talking about how funny is the honey. I love this. How funny is the honey that makes your messages sticky. But before we get to that, I need to ask you a couple questions here, buddy. You talk to business owners, you talk to people out in the world, your clients, other people who are entrepreneurs and business people. What are they saying? How are they feeling? Are they still, I mean, you're in California, so that's a slightly different view of things than here in Wyoming, but across the world, we all have these different views. What are you hearing from your people about moving forward? Positive, hesitant? What do you think?
Well, I think it's pretty consistent that those people that are making money are pretty positive, and those people that aren't making money are pretty negative. And the people that have a plan that includes the future have positivity, and the people that haven't figured out things are woe is me. You can't do anything through this Zoom little, you can't speak to people through the little green dot. No, life is horrible. Where are my cats? I just want to live indoors.
Oh, I love those people, is what I want to say. Yay. So, yeah. And I think you're right. It depends on the mindset, depends on what you're thinking about and what you're planning on for the future. I like the way you put that. Thank you, Ray. And I don't have a cat, and right now I don't have a dog. So I'd rather be out there speaking. And if I can speak here, it's all good to me. I like it.
Well, people in the speaking business have to understand, if you can't come across through from your living room to somewhere else's, you're not going to come across on stage. And
Yeah.
I think those people that figure out how to be charismatic, how to use their gifts and their humor and their inspirational speaking styles. If you can get it through the green dot, you're going to be better when you go back live. And some people we're starting to see live things come up, and I've gotten to speak live for the first time in months and months and months,
Yeah.
and I treated it like it was a Zoom meeting. I asked people to put in the chat box and all these kind of things. Then I froze,
Oh
you know.
no. Oh no.
Yeah, and the audience was loving it. So you got to be in the moment with the people that are there with you. And if that
Yeah.
happens to be live, you do that. But if it happens to be through the little green dot, then you go through the little green dot.
Because you're really still live.
Yeah, I think so.
Last
You
time
could
hold on, let me check.
you could be an AI robot. We've
No
got
one would know. This is not
Sophia.
the real me.
There's a,
Okay.
there's a
Oh,
robot called Sophia that's being sold out there right now. That's pretty
oh
good.
dear. Oh
Yeah.
dear. Well, I don't want her. Not at all. Not at all. Well, we're ah. So we're kind of touching on this a little bit, but what can business owners, entrepreneurs, what can we do right now to really leap in to moving forward? It's been a year and a half or more now of this delightful COVID experience that we're having. What can we do now to really start, pushing forward? Let's get out of this funk.
You have to make life easier for your customers and show them how their life is better and easier with you in it. And
Ooh.
if you can't do that, you can't sell a product based on the product. People don't buy that. They buy things based on the result, and the result of the result of the result. If you can show them that, that's even better. And you have to speak looking through their eyes with their wallet, not yours.
Ah, yes. Thank you. that's such good advice. I remember one of my coaches one time when they were talking about, clients and how you talk to clients and stuff. And they said, don't look in their wallet. Don't assume you know what's in their wallet.
Yeah.
Because I might look at somebody and say, oh, they'll never be able to afford this. I don't know that. So let's help people make more so that they can do more. I think that's and I like the way you said, make life easier for their clients by being in it. Thank you so much, Ray. That's a cross-stitch pillow right there.
There it is. And also the phrase you said, make more so they can do more, is another hallmark moment of sales, where you put it in the little embroidery thing out there with a bird and a tree,
Yeah, with a little bird and a tree and a sunflower. We need sunflowers on there too. Yeah. So we really want to talk about memorable speeches and how we help our clients not just remember what we do, but take action on what we've been talking about. And so I love it when you said, funny is the honey that makes our message sticky. I love that. So why is humor important? Why can't someone just get up there and give the facts? Shouldn't that be enough?
Well, the facts don't tell you the results. So the facts, the data, it's not the data that people really need. It's the story about the data that shows where their future lies. Humor is an incredible way it's instant rapport, instant likability, instant trust. Now, you go to any sales training, they talk, well, or if you try to sell to a company, well, we only work with people we know, like, and trust. Well, how can I get in if you don't know me, to be able to like me and be able to trust me? Well, that's part of our process. Okay. Well, laughter is instant likability, instant trust, instant rapport. And you can see it, you can show it. For example, we've all met strangers, right? Sometimes it's magical. Sometimes it's creepy. Well,
yeah.
What's the difference? What's the difference between magical and creepy? What do you think, Dana?
Magical and creepy. I think it's for me, someone could say to me, wow, your hair looks really nice today. And I'm like, oh, thank you. Wow, that was kind of, magical. Or
they could also say, your hair looks really nice.
Your hair looks really nice today. Okay, thank you so much. I got to go. Yeah, I think it's tonality. And what I want to say something about, like, what's behind it? Why are they saying it? Is it just some creepy guy or gal going, hey, Ray, I like your head. Can I rub it? Or is it, I like a guy who's bold and has a great, has a great confidence to just let that head get out there, because not everybody has a great head, Ray, and you've got a great head.
Let your dome shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine.
That's right.
Well, the number one answer when I ask that question is what makes things creepy? The number one answer is the vibe.
Yeah.
When I ask people to define the vibe, you did it better than most people do. The number one answer is what you said, the tonality. So if somebody walks up to you and goes, hi, what's your name? That's magical, right?
No.
Okay. So if you change the tone, it'll get better. So if I say, hi, what's your name?
Creepy. Okay, that's leaning on creepy.
That's creepier, right? Yeah. So the tone really has very little to do it. It's if you kind of look at the why, human beings have these little switches in our head that creep people out or let people accept them. And they're kind of, you can put them down to questions. Who are you? Why are you here? How long are you going to stay? Are you friend or foe, right? And if I trip that switch, you will not give me an opportunity to know, like, and trust me.
Right.
Well, and you see it on people's face, because I've done this for Zoom meetings with like 50 people on there, and I go, hi! What happens on the screen? You see, whoa, people pull away from the screen. It happens live all the time, but even on the screen. Well, why do you think people drop their chin when they're creeped out?
Because it's protection.
That's the most vulnerable area of your body. And they are trying to protect themselves. We've been doing this since caveman days, right? Since saber-toothed tigers were running on the earth. Well, what happens when you laugh? You just did it right there. You threw your head back. And what that is, you're exposing, that's instant trust. You're saying, look, Ray, you can kill me. There it is. Go ahead. I trust you that much right there. And that's what humor does. That's why it's so important. It's disarming. It makes people real human beings. It allows you to, it's the backbone of likability and the backbone of trust.
Yeah. And I think, a lot of times, when we're giving we're presenting our messages to people, we should add stories, because stories make people relate better. And I think a lot of times when we tell a story about someone else, oh, my sister or my coworker, I think that's great. But I kind of, do you agree with this? And if you don't, please say so. I like to tell stories on myself. Oh my gosh, today I got on the elevator and whoa, I just did this thing, because people can relate. Oh, she's up here speaking and she just did the same thing I did. And I was so embarrassed, makes you more relatable and approachable.
There's kind of a two-sided coin to that answer. You're self-deprecating, which in America we love. But you have to be careful how far you go with that, because your audience wants to have hope.
Right.
And if you are a lovable loser with a chance of winning, that's one thing. But the person that has no chance of winning is just, get out of here. I don't want to hear you anymore.
Right.
So there is a line between that.
Mm.
The other thing that is a kind of a rally killer in a speech is the use of the word I. When people send me a speech, one of the first things I do is I hit, Command F, space, I, space. And if it lights up like a Christmas tree, we don't have a speech yet. We've got a soliloquy or whatever the heck you call it. I don't know what that word means. It just felt like it fit right there.
I like it though. It's a good word.
And when people write one way and they speak another, and you have to realize that when you speak, you have to make yourself and the other people in your speech come alive.
Right.
I've seen so many people talk about kids and kids asking questions. Mother, would it be all right if I could have a fudgesicle? Kids don't speak like that. And I always talk about 3 kid words: qui, kaiva, sarai-fi. Qui, kaiva, sarai-fi. Qui go down the store and it's not fudgesicle, it's a fudgicle. Qui get a fudgicle, kaiva fudgicle, sorry if I go to Jimmy's and have a fudgicle. That's how kids talk. So if you use that language, then the people in your story become real.
Right.
And it's all about creating one of the key things with humor is the picture that you paint for the audience.
Right.
And speakers, and if you're, as a business person, when you're trying to sell to another company, you have the opportunity to paint that picture however you want it to look, to present to your clients, to present to a networking event, whatever it is. But you don't paint that picture, they don't see what you're talking about.
Okay. I like that. Yeah. So watch out for the I stories. And it is, I think, okay to say, I did this, but it can't be for the entire 45 minutes or an hour or whatever you're training. Because I think people do get a little sick of the me, because I can't relate to that. So
get straight to the action. Your first step is get to the first step. So I was I was taking an elevator. I would go, it was between the 4th and 5th floors when the woman finally collapsed.
Yeah. Okay.
That's how I'd start, right? Instead of, I got onto an elevator and it was 922, I would actually use 922 because the more specifics, the more specifics you add to a scene, the more you are an expert on what's going on.
Right.
we use that. I would use that in job interviews. I would use that interviewing people. I would use that speaking to large groups, small groups, one-on-one people. Create yourself as an expert. The more you can show, I stood on stage with a silent audience as the round clock on the wall, tick, tick, ticked up to 8:42 in the evening. Mrs. Minagawa still had 3 15-cent brownies on the lemonade stand tray. So if I said that, you go, well, he was at a school play, he was there, so
right, absolutely.
17 proud parents and their hyperkinetic kids leaning forward on squeaky folding chairs. The devil's in the details when you're talking about it, but get to the point fast. Your first step is to get to the first step.
Got it. Okay. And is that how we get funnier faster? Is getting to the point, adding details? What else is there?
That's a good way to do it. That's a good way to start. The other one, if you want more impactful things, you have to make sure that everything you say, the most important word, is at the end of the sentence.
Oh, okay.
So in humor, the word that creates the laughter needs to be at the end of a sentence, and don't speak after that when they laugh, because you've heard the term stepping on your punchline.
Mm-hmm.
Well, what happens is with an audience or in a business presentation, if I say something and I create laughter, what happens is the audience, that's a good thing. So now they like me a little more. And if I start speaking immediately after you laugh, they want to hear what I have to say. So they stop laughing.
Mm-hmm.
You do that 2 or 3 times. What you just did is trained your audience to not laugh when you speak.
Okay.
They will enjoy you and say, wow, that was great. But you're going, nobody laughed. There was funny stuff in there and nobody laughed. So you want that, you want the punchline as close to the end as you can get it. Give it some time to sit with people.
Yeah.
Then on top of that, as far as just speaking, the most important word should be at the end of every sentence. Because, to quote the great speech coach Patricia Fripp,
yes,
the last word lingers, right? And so the last recency bias, the last thing you hear, the first thing you hear and the last thing you hear are the two most remembered things. The stuff in the middle isn't heard. So if you want to make a more impactful presentation as quickly as possible and you're looking at it, just take your sentences and make sure the most important things at the end, and you will go, well, that was much better than the last time I saw you do that speech. And it doesn't really require, massive working. You just have to remember to say the right thing at the right time.
Right. Okay. And that makes so much sense. Absolutely. The first and last part is really what they hear. Thanks for that. That's great. Come on, you guys. Are you listening to this? First and last thing. Okay, how do I say that first and last? I don't know. But we'll mosey along here. So okay, Ray, you're a funny dude. You just are. I mean, I have to say this about Ray. Ray is serious about being funny and bringing humor to what he does, but also helping us be more humorous too. So is there like a secret ninja trick to use humor to become more memorable? Is there like a ha ching ha thing going on there? Why'd I do that? That's like weird. But anyway, yes.
I was thinking walk like an Egyptian right there.
Well, that's my era. So go ahead.
What people need to understand is that what humor is in the brain, it's kind of like when you're a kid and you took an Etch-a-Sketch and shook it over your head, and all of a sudden your palate is clear. There's nothing there. So whatever is zipping around in your head, the second you laugh, it's gone. You can't be angry and laugh. You can't be sad and laugh. You are laughing, and then after laughing is the ultimate quiet. Well, guess what that is? It is the time that they are most receptive to learn something.
Oh.
So the peak of learning follows laughter. And if you design your speech to have the most impactful moment after the biggest laugh, you become more sticky. So when you are presenting and there's this big point you make, if you're talking, like I have this speech about my fifth grade teacher who was pretty amazing. Some of the other parents were concerned and everything, but he was my hero and nobody was taking that away. And I had this, I don't even remember what the laugh line was, but then the line after it was, don't look up to your heroes, look into them. Right. And so that's what people walk away with. That's what the, there's a big laugh. And I put, the thumping in your chest is not your heart. It's your dreams knocking on your heart's door,
Okay.
So these are the things that people walk away and remember with. And I don't even remember what the funny line that goes before that is, unless I give the entire speech. So
well, okay. Well, we got time. I guess. No.
Well, so if you're going to present and you're talking about trying to get venture capital from all the incubators, when you present and create laughter, they're interested in you. And so that's really that's what makes you sticky. So if you ever watch Shark Tank, the people come in there, and if they do it right, the sharks are pleased and they're laughing. You got to know your numbers and you got to have something good. But there are times I've seen where they just didn't like the person. They said, I love your product, but I don't like you. I'm out. And I've also seen things where I love you. I'm not crazy about your product, but I love you. So I'd like to invest in you.
I get it.
And they won't, you could have the greatest idea in the world. If you're not likable, you're not going to sell it like you could.
Got it. Yeah. Okay. So you have to be likable, and you could have, so you're saying you could have all the knowledge in the world. You could be the most educated. You could have the most experience. But if you're not connecting with that know, like, and trust, it doesn't really matter what you know.
And here's kind of a litmus test. If I was an entrepreneur and I had a great product, if you can't sit at a barbecue with your friends and hold court with a story, you're not going to be able to sell your product. So you should either be A, coached by someone who can do that, or B, hire somebody to present, have you talk about the numbers and the story behind it. We'll create that story behind it. But get some help, because the harder you work to do it yourself, the faster you wind up being an ex-owner of a company.
Right. Okay. I see that. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. And there are some people who have great ideas, and they should ask somebody else to present it.
One of my favorite ideas that I heard from somebody is an all-you-can-eat restaurant that delivers.
I like it. Now, I know, Ray, that you're in the process of writing a book. And what's the title of that book?
The title of the book is the same as the title of the company, which is Leadership Through Laughter.
Yes.
And it started out as 52 humor tips, which you can get if you go to kiwilive.com, password Zoom. kiwilive.com, password is Zoom. And I started writing these tips, and I started writing 10, and all of a sudden there was 52. Now there's about 80, but each one had a leadership lesson behind it. And it had a business story behind it. So I thought, well, there's a good business book called Leadership Through Laughter. And it should be, I'm hoping to have it out by the beginning of next year. And it's coming along.
Okay, so you have to promise that you will let me know, and then we will have you back so we can talk about the book instead of acting like you're voguing over here. Okay, so it's kiwilive.com, and there's a password Zoom to get your 52 humor tips.
52 humor tips, yep.
Okay, so guys and gals, that'll be in the directions when I post this, but take a look at that, get that. It's free. Who couldn't use more humor? Come on, guys and gals. Thank you so much. Well, we've run out of time. Goodness gracious, Ray. We could be talking about humor, and you've got so much knowledge and expertise. And I know we all certainly know, like, and trust you. That's one thing I can say for sure. So I've written down a whole bunch of notes here. Goodness, I even went to a second page. So thank you so much for being here. Ray, one last thing, do you want to add anything last, kick the ball through the goalpost? Anything you want to point out?
How about one quick humor technique tip that can make
Okay.
you funnier faster, which
Okay.
that would be our next thing, would be how to be funnier faster. There is humor every time that something bad happens to you. You really got to learn how to flip the situation. For example, my buddy got a flat tire the other day, and it was ruining his morning. He goes, man, it's so bad. I got a flat tire today. And I said, well, what do you think the tire thinks of that? You were driving down the road, the tire is screaming at you going, get away from the nail. See, there's a nail. Get away from the nail. And then he ran right over the nail, and he pulled over the side. And he got out of the car and he kicked me. He kicked me. Then he went in the back and got this metal thing and started twisting my nuts. It was awful. It was awful. So your day is pretty good compared to the tires. I call that the flip.
I love it. I love it. Guys and gals, we need to be flipping more. That right there is worth gold. So listen up, guys. This is great. Let me give you some information on Ray here, so that if you want to get a hold of him, you can certainly do that. Here we go. Ray Engan, and it's ray@humorspeaks.com, and his website is leadershipthroughlaughter.com. And he's gracious enough. There's his phone number. You can call him, ask him questions, contact him via email, or look at his website. Get a hold of those free humor tips at kiwilive.com, and password is Zoom. Ray is just a bureau of information. And for those who don't know exactly what I do, I coach women entrepreneurs. I help you find your value, because women have a tendency to undervalue ourselves. Come on, gals, you know you do. Find your perfect client, and then we go out and we change the world one person at a time. We can do that. So there's my information right down there. So if you have any questions, you want to be interviewed, or you have a question about someone we've interviewed, there you go. And in the meantime, thanks everybody. Thank you, Ray. You have been fabulous as always.
Because Coach Dana inspires.
That's right. Coach Dana inspires. All right, everybody. We'll see you next Tuesday on Business Inspiration. Thanks, everyone.